Antarctica is now hotter than Spain as record-shattering heat climbs to near 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature in Antarctica has reached a shocking 69.35 degrees Fahrenheit or 20.75 degrees Celsius. And that's the highest ever recorded on the icy continent of Antarctica. The heat in Antarctica is continuing to climb, with recent recording showing that the icy continent reached the shocking temperature of almost 70 degrees Fahrenheit, the highest temperature ever recorded. The unprecedented hot temperatures logged by Brazilian researchers at Seymour Island February 9th and soars past the previous record of 67.64 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 19.8 Celsius, recorded on Signy Island, January 1982. The grim record comes after another recent record temperature was reached last Thursday, when an Argentine research station on the northern tip of the continent found that temperatures had reached 65 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 18.3 Celsius, the hottest ever temperature recorded on the continental Antarctica Peninsula. Now, while the record still needs to be checked for accuracy by the World Meteorological Organization, the incredible and abnormal readings are consistent with what researchers see as an increasingly dangerous trend sweeping the continent of Antarctica. Temperatures there typically range from 14 Fahrenheit, that's minus 10 degrees Celsius, on the coast to minus 76 Fahrenheit, that's minus 60 Celsius inland. However, the Antarctic Peninsula, which lies near South America, has become one of the fastest warming regions on the planet. And as I'm reading this, we have to remind everyone the record colds in Canada. It seems that Canada is almost as cold as inland Antarctica this year. Anyway, going back to this, over the past 50 years, recorded temperatures in the peninsula and nearby islands have warmed by approximately 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 3 degrees Celsius, a blisteringly fast rate of increase in the region that has been covered in ice since time immemorial. NOAA, the climate.gov, says it may be 2020, but if you're like us, you're still writing 2019 by mistake. So with 2019 still on our mind, let's take a look at how global temperatures in 2019 became the second warmest on record. And there's an embedded video if you want to see here. The 2.07 degrees Fahrenheit above pre-industrial average from 1880 to 1900. Carlos Schaefer, who works for Brazilian climate monitor Terrantar, said, "We are seeing the warming trend in many of the sites we're now monitoring, but we have never seen anything like this," he said. Over the past 20 years, temperatures on the peninsula have been increasingly erratic, with a brief period of cooling in the first decade of the century being followed by a period of rapid warming. Much of this has to do with shifts in ocean currents and El Niño events, the Brazilian researcher says, and Schaefer added, "We have climatic changes in the atmosphere, which is closely related to changes in permafrost and the ocean. The whole thing is very interrelated." The latest temperature reading comes as scientists reported that an iceberg, twice the size of Washington, D.C., has broken off from the Pine Island Glacier in Antarctica. The statement of European Space Agency says the Pine Island Glacier recently spawned an iceberg over 115 square miles that very quickly shattered into pieces. Antarctica stores roughly 70% of the world's fresh water in the form of snow and ice. If it was to melt, all of it to melt, sea levels could rise by a whopping 50 to 60 meters. That's up to over 180 feet. That's 165 to 195 feet height. I mean, that would mean a tremendous amount of coastlines worldwide would be underwater by at least 160 feet. I remember looking at, for example, Long Island. In New York, Long Island is an average of 50 feet above sea level. Now, while such a melt would take multiple generations, UN scientists predict UN scientists predict an ocean rise of anywhere between 30 centimeters to 110 centimeters. Adrian Lookman tweets, here's my version of Sentinel-1, animation of 3 Pine Island Glacier calving events, including the latest one on January 9th. And you can have that, there's another one, a video you can see. This is by Elias Murat on Mind Unleashed, and it's on Creative Commons. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.